Okay, it's 11:30, so we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning. It is Thursday, October 14th, and this briefing will cover through next Wednesday, the 20th. Quick look at the tropics. Nothing terribly significant. We do have an area of interest out just east of the Caribbean, and that is expected to kind of stay in that general neighborhood through the week and not really develop, at least at this point. It's not expected to develop into much of anything. So we will keep an eyeball on that as we go forward in time, but for now, that is not of a major concern for our neck of the woods. Quick glance at the overall pattern for the next week or so. Today and tomorrow should stay dry and for the most part well above normal as far as temperatures go. We will be, I think, near record for especially tomorrow, but even I think today record highs are at least within reach, even if we do not actually get to them. So that is what's in store through the end of the week. And then as we get into Saturday, we have a pretty strong cold front moving into and through the area. It's going to move pretty rapidly from west to east, starting probably sometime early Saturday morning, and then be off the coast of North Carolina by midnight or so Saturday night. So it's going to move through pretty quick, and we're not expecting anything by way of significant rainfall because of how quickly it's moving, but we could see at least a little bit across most places in central North Carolina. The thunder potential is fairly limited, mainly to along the coastal plain, southern coastal plain at that. So areas east of I-95 for the most part. But the bigger, I guess, weather concern with the front is actually going to be the gusty winds. We will have some gusty winds along and just behind the front with the rainfall. After that, high pressure will start to build in. It's going to stay, for the most part, over the Arklatex on Sunday, but be ridging into North Carolina. And it will move into and through the Appalachians and Mid-Atlantic through the middle of the week. And it should be dry, and it will feel quite a bit cooler out, but it's going to be probably within 5 degrees or so of normal. So even though it's going to feel significantly cooler, it's mainly because we've been so much warmer than normal for this time of year. I think the temperatures on Sunday and Sunday night, while they are going to feel pretty cold, are going to be within 5 degrees of normal. I think 3 to 5 below is what we're forecasting. So that gives us lows in the low to mid 40s and highs in the 60s. As we get into the severe weather potential, there really isn't much of anything. We are outlooked for general thunder for Saturday with the cold front, but again, the risk for anything severe or even really any thunder at that is pretty minimal. And rainfall, same thing. Like I mentioned before, the rainfall amounts aren't expected to be terribly high because of how quickly the system is moving through the area, but generally expect half an inch or less, maybe some isolated higher amounts. And again, that aligns pretty good with the WPC's excessive rainfall outlook with no flash flood risk expected. Here's a look at the drought conditions, which were updated this morning, or it was released this morning with input from the last couple of days. And even though we had all of that heavy rainfall over Wake, Johnston, Chatham counties over the weekend, it really just improved the drought conditions in those areas. Everywhere else has pretty much remained the same. So we still have a D0 for about half of central North Carolina and no abnormally dry conditions in the other half. Looking beyond the 7 days, it looks like we are still expected to be a little bit above normal as far as temperatures go, and that does track as the high moves over the area and offshore next week. temperatures are going to moderate again back to near and then above normal by Wednesday. So this below normal and cooler feeling air is going to be relatively short-lived. Precipitation, however, is expected to remain in the below normal range, and that also is kind of expected with what we've seen in the forecast so far. And this is just a summary of what I've previously stated. So main story here is that we have a cold front that's expected to move through on Saturday. Chance for rain, better chance for some gusty winds, and then notably cooler on Sunday and Monday than it was, Friday and Saturday. So don't, put away all of your warm weather gear just yet, but be prepared for some cooler weather, especially as you go out Monday morning and Tuesday morning. It's going to feel quite chilly out there. So with that, I will pause, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to type them in the questions box. I see I've got a couple in there already.